Hello everyone, my name is Jessie Carell and I am the founder and director of Hands-On Media Education. I travel across Canada, a lot in the Northwest Territories, teaching youth and teachers as well as adults and elders how to make their own videos, which is why I am here with you today. We have partnered with Digital NWT to bring this free workshop to your classroom, and I'm really excited and happy that you've joined. We have students all across NWT joining us for this, and I'm really excited to get into it. We are going to do two important things in this workshop this week. Number one, we're going to learn how to make our own video project. We are going to be using either iMovie for iPad, iPhone, or Mac, or Adobe Spark Video, which is used on PCs or Mac. They're both free and they're both very simple to use. The second thing is that we're going to learn why it's important to care about our internet connection. How is our internet connection? Is it fast enough so we can stream videos? Is it reliable enough so it's not constantly breaking in and out? Is it sometimes too expensive? I want to teach you why it's important to care about our internet connection. Once your videos are complete, you will submit them to our contest. Hashtag NWT Digital Divide. We have $200 in gift cards as prizes for you, and you're all eligible to win. Most of us use the internet, right? We can do all kinds of things online, including playing online video games, watching YouTube videos, learning about pretty much anything we want to, connecting with friends and family. But if your internet connection is too slow or doesn't even exist at all, we really can't do any of that. We call this the digital divide. When one group of people do have access to all that information and potential of learning and connection with family and friends, and another group does not. There's a divide between those two groups, and one group is clearly at an advantage. Sometimes the internet is too slow or too expensive or just coming in and out and unreliable, making it almost impossible to use. I want to teach you how to test the speed of your own internet connection and let others know why it's important that you have a reliable, fast, and affordable internet connection. But first, video production. Okay, we are going to make a video using photographs, music, your voice, and text. But before we put that all together, we need to get organized. Every filmmaker, including us, starts their project with the pre-production phase, pre meaning before. So we're going to get organized and put all of our thoughts together on a piece of paper and write out exactly what we're going to say. First, you're going to say your name, your age, and your community. You can tell us a bit about yourself. What do you like to do? What grade are you in? Who are your friends? What is a main hobby of yours? What's on your mind? Next, you are going to tell us exactly what your download and upload speed of your internet connection is wherever you are right now. Either at school or at home, maybe on your phone. It doesn't matter which, choose one. I'm going to show you how to do that now using the Sira speed test. So here it is, and it's asking me if I will allow performance.sira.ca to access my location, and I will say yes. So here it is. It's very straightforward, and it's going to ask me it just has the information here with my postal code and my ISP. My postal code is correct at the moment. I'm working in Vancouver. The ISP is who my provider is, and I'm just simply going to press start. So I wait a few seconds. It's going to test my upload speed, and then it's going to move over to my download speed. Okay, so we have the results. This is a 14 megabytes per second upload speed and an average 28 megabytes per second download speed. Next, you're going to tell us what you like to do online. Is it learning? Is it connecting with friends and family? Is it watching YouTube videos? Is it playing video games? Whatever it is, let us know. And also, why? Why do you like doing this stuff? I want to know. Next, I want you to explain to us if there are any internet connection issues that you have on a regular basis. Does the internet work all the time? Is it really unreliable, or is it pretty good? Is it expensive? Do you know how much your internet costs? Does it sometimes just not exist? I want to know if there are any issues for you that come up using the internet, and tell us a bit about it. Tell us a story. Feel free to talk about why we should care. Why should people care that some communities do or don't have a reliable internet connection? Tell us about it. A lot of people down south have no idea that there are some communities with really bad internet connections. And the last part of this video project, you're going to ask other people to test their own internet speeds. So you're going to encourage them to get involved. Test your internet speed. Become familiar with the actual nitty-gritty of if your internet works or not. I'm going to send you a really easy to use call to action image that you can put at the very end, which will encourage others to do the same and care about their own internet connections. You're also going to put the hashtag at the very end, hashtag NWT Digital Divide. We really want to raise awareness about this issue, not just in NWT, but across the North and all across Canada. Let's see how far our videos can go. So now that we have written out what we want to say in our video, next we're going to start collecting photographs that complement what we're going to say. So, for example, my video starts with introducing myself, my age, and where I live. So it would be perfect for me to have a photo or two of me, okay? So I want you to find digital photographs of yourself, or you could take a quick selfie or get someone else to take a photo of you. You're going to collect as many photographs as you need, probably somewhere in the ballpark of 15 to 20 photographs. Next, we're going to think about music. Okay, so with iMovie and Adobe Spark Video, there are music tracks that are already in the program. Honestly, let's just keep it simple and use one of those. We're not going to be using any music that we don't have permission to use, so just use one of those. But we really want to pay attention to choosing music that really fits the mood. So if your project is really upbeat, we really don't want like the saddest music of all time. We want to choose music that fits the theme. So listen to a few different tracks. The last thing is actually adding title and credits and recording your voice. So I'm going to show you how to do that now with both Adobe Spark Video and iMovie. Okay, so I'm going to be starting an iMovie project in my iPad. And so I'm going to open the iMovie app here. And I'm going to press the plus, which will be asking me which would you like to create, a movie or a trailer, and I'm going to choose movie. So now it's asking me which photos in my photo roll on my iPad would I like to add to start this new movie project. And so you can just choose tap, 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 any which ones that you've chosen for your project. Here, you can go through and just, it's really, really easy. You just tap it. And when you're ready, oh, I like that one. And when you're ready at the bottom, you press Create Movie. So now I have all the photos on my timeline. It's that easy. And if you'll notice, between each photo is added a little symbol which actually indicates what's called a transition. And that is blending those two photos together. So I'm just moving from photo to photo with my finger, just sliding it back and forth. Very straightforward. And that transition
is a nice blend. It's an automatic transition that's added, and honestly, I would just leave it. You can tap on it and adjust it. You can make it a little longer, and you can also change the transition. I would just leave it. It's a nice kind of blending between each photo. Okay, so now I've got my photos in my timeline, and I'm going to rearrange them in the order that I'd like. It might be easier if you already had your narration in, and so you could actually see exactly what you were talking about and what you want to have there visually. I don't have my narration now, so there are a few different options. I can import it, or I can record directly my narration right now. So we went over this last week. I can press the microphone and I can start recording. Record. Hello, my name is Jessie Carell and I am 40 years old. I love the wintertime and I am really excited to share my story with you. Okay, you get the idea, and I would be continuing on and on and on, and I'd be talking about my whole thing, my beginning, middle, and end. That would be there, and that would be running through. I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like with the whole thing. But I wanted to give you kind of a taste of what this will look like. If you took your narration, you recorded it with your phone, you're going to need to share that project. And so what I can do is I can go into Voice Memo, and I've got my narration here. And so what I can do is I can share, and it's going to ask me, where do I want to share it to? And I'm going to copy it to iMovie. And it's going to ask me, which movie project would you like to bring it into? And I'm going to press this one. So you see I've got my narration below. That was recorded on my voice memo. And I've got this one that I just did the demo. I'm going to highlight that in yellow and delete it. So we've only got this one. So now I've got my full narration, and now it's going to be a lot easier to know what I want to see and when I'm hearing my narration.
My name is Jessie Carell and I live in Montreal.
Okay, so I'm going to definitely want a photo of myself. So I can hold a photo down and move it. There we go. So that's better.
My name is Jessie Carell and I live in Montreal.
Okay, so there we have it. Now this one, these two, they're too similar. So I'm going to delete that one. And also there's a lot of adjustments that I'd like to make. This is not all the photos that I want. If I want to add more, I can go up to the top right and press plus. And it's going to ask me which photo would I like to add. Maybe one of these ones here. Tap that in. So it's there. So I can just add them as I go. And I want this one maybe back over here. One thing that I want you to do is adjust the Ken Burns. Ken Burns is the movement on each photo. And so I can tap this here. And once it's highlighted in yellow, it's going to ask me, pinch to position the start. So let's say here is the start. And then I tap the little arrow below and pinch to position the end. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to zoom in a little bit and go to the right. So now...
My name is Jessie Carell.
Okay, so you're starting and ending the Ken Burns on your own here by selecting it in yellow, pinching to position the start, and pinch to position the end. You're selecting your start and end box, and then Ken Burns will do the rest. You can also disable it entirely if you would like, and that's fine. But if you do have Ken Burns, just make sure that it's moving on the photo the way you'd like. Let's do another example of Ken Burns adjustment. So we've got this photo. I've pressed it. I've selected it in yellow, and I'm going to pinch to position the start. Let's do it's going to be zoomed in right at the beginning, and then pinch to position the end. Okay, so that's the end. So So I've got the start and the end. I'm going to do a little preview.
And going on many adventures with a close friend. For work...
Okay, so you're really zooming out there. If that's what you want, great. If I were you, I would not have such dramatic, quick shifts between the photos on the Ken Burns. So, for example, this is a huge change from the start to the end. I would usually advise you to have a small difference between the start and the end. So like that.
On many adventures with a close friend.
If there's too much movement, it's too fast, it's distracting, and honestly, a lot of your projects are talking about slower, kind of more thoughtful things most of the time. And so if your editing is too fast, it's a bit of a disconnect for the audience. So I would keep the start and end frames relatively close together. Okay, so this is what we've done so far. We've created a movie project. We've selected the photos that we would like to use for our project. We have either recorded or imported our narration, and we have adjusted the Ken Burns. The last thing I'm going to show you is the length of each photo. You can change the length of each photo. If you select one and yellow, up at the top it says 5.0 seconds. So this one is 4.0 seconds. By default, the photos in the middle of your project, not including the start and the end, are 4 seconds. If you want it a little longer, you can adjust it. And the way you do that is, first, I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'm going to zoom in. I'm pulling them apart to zoom in. So that's not changing the length of anything. I'm just zooming into the timeline so it's a little easier to work with. So I tap that photo. You'll see it's still 4.0 seconds. And with my finger, one finger, I'm going to drag one end of each photo to extend it. And you'll see it's going up 6.2 seconds. So let's look at that.
Educator, and I run my own small organization called Hands On Media.
Okay, so that's good, right? If I don't want, I can select it again and I can drag it in. It's a little bit finicky, I'm not going to lie. iMovie with the touch screen like this, it's probably the most difficult part for a lot of people. But just have some patience and try it again. Now, if I want to zoom back out, I pull my fingers together and we're back where we were. I'm not changing the length of any of the photos when I do that zoom in and zoom out. I have to select a photo, highlight it in yellow, and then I can make the adjustments with the length if I would like. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is add a title. And then I'm going to add credits. So with the iMovie app, it doesn't allow you to add a title onto a background. It insists that you make a title and credits on a photo. So I have a little workaround because I like to have my I like to have my title on a background. So I'll show you what I mean. This is when I tap the photo, it's highlighted in yellow. And on the bottom of the screen, it has a few different actions. So title is there. So it's giving me a few different options on what style I like of the photos, of the title. And that's fine, but like I said, I want it on a background. So I go to none and I go out of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the camera button here and I'm going to take a photo of nothing. And that is what I'm going to be using to add my title on. You can take a photo of anything. You could take a photo of textures, maybe some wood or your jeans or anything, a piece of art that you like, something that's not too busy. So then I'm going to tap it and I'm going to choose the style that I want. Now, like I said in the intro, a title really is something that you want to hook people into. You want to have a bit of thought go into this. And so I'm going to write my title here. This is a working title, but this will probably be what I end up using. And my title for my project is Jessie feels included. And this is a title that is just something that is supposed to inspire people to be interested to watch my film. Jessie feels included. That's kind of ambiguous, we say, right? So it's kind of a bit unclear what that means. And so that is an invitation for people to watch it. Jessie feels included. What do you mean? Is she usually not feeling like she's included? What is she feeling included in? So that's just my title. And I might change that later, but I think that's going to work for now. So I press play.
My name is Jessie.
Okay, now at the end, I'm going to choose credit. So the same thing, I can go into media and I can import a photo that was recently taken. And this photo was recently taken because I just took it for the title. I can use the same thing for the end credit. And I'm going to tap it just like I did with the title. And I'm going to choose the line title one. Works really well for this credit. This is the first one you're going to write. This digital story was made by Jessie Carell. So my title and credits are done. Now music. So one thing with the iMovie app is if I tap on the narration, it's a blue line here, you'll see. If I tap on it, it's going to ask me if I want to put this audio track, this soundtrack, as the background. And I don't. I want this to be the foreground, which means it's the loudest. So I'm going to leave it. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to drag my finger a little bit because there was some air space. There was just some dead air there for a while. So I'm just going to clean that audio track up just a little bit and shave off the first few seconds where there's no sound. So now I'm going to import my music track. And my music track is from the audio section. It's a file that I recorded in GarageBand. So here it is. I'm going to tap it. And it's going to come in just like that, my song 4. So I'm going to tap it just like I did with the narration. I'm going to just tap it once and I'm going to say yes, background, which means that it's going to be a little bit quieter than my narration. And another thing I can do is I can hold it, make sure that it's surrounded in yellow, and I can drag with my finger to the right and it'll loop it. So just because the track was only probably maybe about 15 seconds, I can now fill it out. So it's the whole length of my digital story. Another thing I can see, because I've chosen the sound wave icon on the right hand side, I can see that this music track is quite a bit louder than my narration. I can already see the sound wave levels are a little bit lower on my narration. I can go into the volume here and I can increase that if I want, just a little, if I want. And I can lower it a little bit here. So now let's listen to that.
My name is Jessie Carell, and
Okay, so the music is still quite a bit louder than I like.
my name is Jessie Carell, and I live in Montreal. I am a 39-year-old woman from Vancouver who loves the heart and passion of the city.
Okay, so that's good. I'm going to raise my voice a little bit. And you don't want it to be too loud. You'll see if the sound waves get into be colored like yellow or red, that's a little bit, if it's red, certainly it's too hot, we call it. So lower it down. 162% seems fine. It's a little bit high there. So maybe I'll lower it. $147, that's a little bit better. And this could be a little lower too. Let's try it again. Press play.
My name is Jessie Carell, and I live in Montreal.
Okay, so that's better. And honestly, the best thing that you can do is listen with headphones. Okay, so I've got my photos in the order I want. I've got my narration. I've got my title. I've got my credits. I've got my music imported. And I've got the volume set the way I want. The last thing is just to review the Ken Burns effect. So I tap it. Do I like where this is starting? And do I like where this is ending? Okay, good. If not, I'll show you how to change that. So if I go to pinch to position the start, this is the start. And then pinch to the position the end is a little bit out. So there's a kind of a zoom out there.
Woman from Vancouver who loves the heart and passion of the city.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay, so if you're using Adobe Spark Video, you're going to launch the app and it's going to ask you what is the title of your project. So I'm going to change this later, but for now, just for organization's sake, I'm going to choose Jessie's Digital Story. And next, and it's going to ask me pick a story template or start from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch and it's going to load everything. Okay, so you can watch this video if you would like. I'm going to just show you how I would do it if I were you. So the bottom is like the timeline. If you watch the videos for iMovie, it's very similar in that way. So at the bottom, that's where all the photos are going to go and you're going to put them in the order that you would like. And so you can choose a theme over here if you want. I'm really going to leave that up to you. For now, I'm just going to leave it as no theme and I'm going to change it how I would like and I'm going to add the music that I would like and I'm going to choose the photos and text that I would like. So here it is. So I'm going to start by pressing the plus and it's going to ask me which photos would I like to bring in. So you can upload the photos that you took, which is great. And I've got mine on my desktop here in a folder. So it's really easy to find. So I can upload the folder here and that's where some of them are. I've got a Jessie Digital Story Pics. So here they are. I'm going to press that and it's going to ask you to bring them in one at a time. So you can do that. Now, if I want to add another photo, I do that here. You can actually, with Adobe Spark Video, find free photos using Creative Commons licensed photos. So let's do that here. Dog. Actually, no, puppy. So here are all these photos that I can use. So it's a little easier than going from Google back to this using iMovie. So I kind of like that. Okay, so that's cool. Super easy to use. And like I've got my photo here, I'm gonna keep on adding more photos and you press the plus over here and you just add more photos. So photo, I'm gonna go back up and upload my own photos and here are more of them. So in iMovie, you can bring them all in at one time. With Adobe Spark Video, you bring them in one at a time. I'm gonna upload the photo. And we have to record our narration one photo at a time. So when I do that, I press the microphone and I'm going to press and hold while speaking. I'm going to say allow. You can use my microphone. Hello, my name is Jessie Carell and I am 40 years old living in Montreal. Okay, so let's listen with the play button. Hello, my name is Jessie Carell and I am 40 years old living in Montreal. Okay, so you notice music, right? So if I go to the top right-hand corner, that has already been added. So they've chosen this. I'm going to add my own music, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to turn that off for now. We're going to get into music next week. If you want to go ahead and add your music and do all that now, go for it. But for now, I'm going to just leave it to my photos, my narration, and I'm going to move on to the next one and add the next sentence or two for this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. You get the idea. So one thing I wanted to teach you too is, say this photo I select. Down at the bottom right-hand corner of that photo, I can press that and it's saying 0:02, which means 2 seconds long. I can extend that up to as long as I want. With iMovie, you had to drag it with your finger. With Adobe Spark Video, it's like this. And I can drag and drop these photos by clicking and moving where I would like. Okay, so you want to make sure that the photos are in the exact same order that you would like before you record the narration. Because for this one, I'm introducing the project. If I actually wanted this one, I'm going to have to re-record the narration because this is where the movie starts now.
On the right-hand side in the bottom, there's a plus sign. So if I press that, it's going to add a slide. And so in the middle of that slide, I press the plus again, and it's asking me, what do I want to add? And I'm going to add text. So this is my title, Jessie feels included, ... sometimes. This is my new title. So this is my working title. I'm going to leave it like that for now. And now I'm going to move that to the front. So it's the first thing that we see. So I've got the title. And now in Spark Video, you can use what they've already got a preset credit slide. So I'm going to just tap it here. And it's going to ask me what my credits are. I'm going to put this digital story was made by. And your first and last name. You can put your school if you want. And then I'm going to say, it's going to say created with work by, using any photos, music. The music was done by me, music and photos by Jessie Carell. Then I've got the outro, and this is an ad for Spark because the program is free. And one thing that I've done is I've tapped on the time and I've moved it down to 1 second. So it's not on for 2 seconds. So you just, with your finger, you just slide it down to the 1. You can't, unfortunately, erase that, which is a bit of a drag, but so it goes with free programs sometimes. So I've got my photos in the order that I want. I've got my title, I've got my credits, I've got the narration where I want it. The music, so up at the top right-hand corner, there's many different tracks that you can use if you want directly from Adobe Spark Video. I'm going to use my own track, and this is one of the songs that I made in GarageBand. So here's the volume here. I can lower it a bit here. Okay, so let's go back to my project here, and I'm going to press play. Hello, my name is Jessie Carell, and I'm 40 years old, living in Montreal. Okay, so in Adobe Spark Video, the voice is louder than the music, which is great. It's an automatic feature. You don't have to do any settings with that. And I like it just the way I have it. Before your final export, I'd like to add that you will need to include this image in your final video project for it to be considered in the contest. And I will send this by email to your teachers.
So now that we have all of the elements that we want for our video all edited together in iMovie or Adobe Spark Video, we've got the photos in the order that we want. We've got our voice recorded. We've got music added. We have a title. We have credits, your name. We also have the image with the call to action, asking youth and others to really care about their own internet connection. Do the Cirrus speed test. You also have the hashtag, the NWT Digital Divide hashtag. You are ready to export it. And this is where the final stage is.
I'm going to press done, and then I'm going to share it. And this is the exporting part. This is like you're compressing the file. Everything is done, done, done. I'm going to save the video, and I'm going to save it as a 720 or 1080, depends on how much storage is in your iPad. Let's say 1080 for now. That's going to be a slightly larger file, but it's going to be a higher quality. If 720 is also just fine. Don't worry about it too much. Then with this project, I can email it. I can upload it to Google Classroom, or I can airdrop it to a laptop that's Mac or a phone, and then you can actually share it with your teacher. So if I've got it just the way I am happy with it, then I'm going to go to the top right-hand corner and press share. And I'm going to save to camera roll. And that way, then I can share it just like I had with iMovie Project. This is a compressed movie file. And I can either email it, I can upload it to the Google Classroom, or I can send it by email to my email address or the teachers.
I want to thank you all for joining me for this workshop this week, raising awareness about the internet connections that we all have or don't have, and also creating our own video project to not just share with our friends and family, but also with others, and trying to raise awareness about this really important issue. I hope that you're inspired to make more videos in the future, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'm really here to help and support you. Thanks so much, and good luck with your project.